Let's talk about press releases. At this point in your passive profit millionaire journey, you've learned a lot. You've reset your mindset with Ashika. You learned about creating your brand the right way with Jacelyn. You became a Canva master with Terry. You learned all the ins and outs of Instagram with Francesca. You got up to date with Pinterest with Michaela. And of course, you learned tons and tons of things about how to set everything up and make it work with Haley. Now we're going to talk about something few of your competitors know about, which is going to give you a big advantage. And I'm scrolling down a list of news outlets, bloggers, media, newspapers, TV stations, journals that picked up a recent press release that I sent out. And you can see there are all kinds of things. There's TV stations, there's newspapers, there's bloggers, there's somebody in Malaysia, New Zealand, but all over the U.S. There's Shanghai. These are people that pick up press releases when you do it right, which is what I'm going to show you how to do. Now, why are press releases powerful? Because people trust news more than they trust ads. Most of us are bombarded by 4,000 ads per day. If you don't believe that, I didn't either, so Google it yourself. Now, you might be the best digital course creator. You might be the best yoga teacher, dog trainer, keto recipe expert, women's fitness expert, relationship coach, video teacher. But if you're the only one claiming that, then you're competing with thousands of other people in the same niche who are also claiming that. And people see that as advertising. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's just seen as advertising. It's not that people don't trust you. It's just that unless you've invented the niche you're in, you sound a whole lot like many other people. Testimonials help a lot, but your rivals all have testimonials. When what you do can be presented as news, originating in a trusted media source, your credibility increases exponentially. And that's what press releases do for you. Now, which types of products and services can benefit from press releases? Those that have a valuable, relatable, and popular news angle. And you already know if what you represent has this. If you're selling jelly beans or gummy bears, this strategy is probably not for you because there's nothing notably newsworthy about candy except that it's bad for kids' teeth and metabolism, which is not going to help you sell your product. But if you're marketing courses on homeschooling kids with ADHD, or vegan diets for seniors, or how to make digital products so that people can quit their 9-to-5 jobs, or how to start over after divorce, or fitness for people with multiple sclerosis, well, all those products and services have a legitimate news angle, which you know how to write about because you're an expert in that niche. And you can create a press release that tells a story about that news angle, which might just be the latest insights that researchers in the field have attained, and then credit yourself as the author of the release. You don't need to sell because your signature does the selling. Your press release might be titled, "Science Finds That Improved Diets Help Children with ADHD." And then the bulk of your release will cite some current studies that make that claim, which you can find on Google or ChatGPT or many other sources. When your release is picked up by media and bloggers and social media influencers and journalists, they will see that you know your stuff, so they'll publish it in their media, which means their readers will know that you know your stuff. So your signature might be Jane Doe, founder of ADHD Children's Diet Planners. And of course, your contact info will be there. But at no point did you say anything like, "By the way, we have a special on our most popular course." If you do that, it'll be seen as advertising and no media will pick up your release. You must view your release as a public service, much like your free content on Instagram or TikTok. You are educating the public within your niche. You don't need to ask people to contact you. The right ones will be impressed by your expertise and will go to whatever trouble it takes to find you. Let's talk about the various press release distribution companies. There's a huge variance in quality between the best and worst. The best have been around for decades and really know their stuff. I'm going to tell you about 4 that I've used extensively and that I really trust. One of my favorites is this one, Send2Press, which is send2press.com. What I like about them is the personal service. Chris, who's the owner, will get on the phone with you after you submit your release, and he'll tell you what you did wrong with SEO, with keywords, with hashtags, with images, because he has shepherded thousands of press releases along their way and made sure that the best ones got the right exposure from media. Now, PR Web, which is now called Cision, is like the granddaddy of press release companies. It's the one that people know more than the others. It's still good, but to me, it's somewhat expensive, and also it seems as if they haven't really kept up to date as far as the latest AI, which is really important in the press release world. But still, they're so big and so well known that you can't really go wrong with them. eReleases is a great company that knows what they're doing. They're a bit on the expensive side, like $200 or $300 for a release. But they're the only company I know of that has clients that have built their entire business with no social media, no ads, no Facebook or Google ads, nothing but press releases. So that's possible. 24/7 Press Release is kind of my workhorse. I use their $47 press release a lot, and it always gets results. And their reports, their tracking. You saw earlier an example of their tracking, all the news outlets and journalists and bloggers and TikTokers and Facebookers that picked up my press release. They keep track of that stuff really well. And the more you keep track of it, the better you will get at refining your target audience and improving your press releases. KISS PR is an interesting company. I recommend them to people who are on a budget because they have some starter press releases for like $9 and $12. They don't have all the bells and whistles that the more expensive ones have, but if you're just getting used to press releases, they're a good place to start. I want to revisit this press report list because you'll notice there's a lot of small towns in here. The Cordell Dispatch in Cordell, Georgia, Davie County Enterprise, Denver Journal. The small news outlets are really great because people trust their small town newspaper or radio station or whatever it is, the Middlesboro News, the New Jersey News. And not only that, but sometimes when you are marketing a high-end course, you can say to people, by the way, you may have seen, I see you live in Mississippi. You may have seen me in the Picayune item in Picayune, Mississippi. Now, it's not likely that they did, but when they go to the link and click on it, they'll see that you are talking about news and not just about your website or your TikTok, which can make any kind of claim it wants, but doesn't have that cachet, that street cred of being actual news. Also, you can say things like, we were in the Shanghai Mirror, as you'll see in the center of the screen. Now, nobody in Shanghai probably can buy your product or hire you as a consultant, but it still adds some credibility to be able to tell your customers that we were picked up in the Singapore Roundup and the South Africa Bulletin. Now, if you don't know how to write news articles that editors are likely to pick up, ChatGPT is a great resource to do that. You just put in your content and say to ChatGPT, please put this in a form of a news release with the proper keywords and hashtags and things that editors are likely to pick up. A pro tip is that you want to issue your releases early in the morning when journalists are not tired. And they say Thursday is the best day, although I suspect this stuff changes all the time. So anyway, good luck with press releases. It's a huge boon to your business, and it'll help you get a lot more sales.